What are product-based companies? So product-based companies are the companies that have their own product. Microsoft, that has Windows and other products, subsequent products, right? Uh, Amazon also has its AWS division, cloud division. That is the first famous division that they have, right? So these are some of the product-based companies that are that are used by the you can say that the users are the first kind of point of contact for these for the products that they offer, right? So this is the basic difference between the product and the service-based company. So service-based company rarely would have its own product. They will be working on other requirements. And the thing is that majorly you will see that when you will be going in a service-based company, service-based companies tech stack keeps on changing. You don't have direct control, right? So it depends on the software. It depends on the requirement from the client. Everything will be dependent on the client's requirement. If the client wants certain things to be done in certain manner, so you will be also doing it in that manner only. So whereas in product-based companies, you are the owner. Okay, you have the complete ownership. What you want to do or whatever approach you want to follow, whatever components you want to like include in your product, it's on you. You have to research about it. You have to prove that you have this component would be good in the addition of the current product, how it will solve the problems and such, right? So this is the basic difference. These, if we talk about in product and service based companies, so in product based companies, you will right, because you are directly working on you can say products that are affecting the lives of millions of people. Lastly, we saw that Microsoft, in Microsoft there was an outage, global outage. It became the headlines, right? Airline stop, bank stop, everything got stopped, right? So everybody was kind of seen a blue screen, right? So they called it the blue screen of death. It's just a saying. So yeah, you can see that the impact is such, right? Whereas in service-based companies, you will be working for a client only. Let's say that my client is Yamaha Solutions, or you let's say that my client is Maruti Suzuki. So if Maruti Suzuki fails, so then I will then it would fail, right? Hope it makes sense. So this is kind of like the the difference, right? So yeah, coming to the process, right? Coming to what happens in the hiring process. So what happens typically in the hiring process for product based company is that product based companies typically hire in like in a team based. Let's say I am working in Azure in Microsoft, right? I am working in Azure, my team has an opening, so my core area would be around storing the data in the cloud. So I would be preferring, or I would get skills that are into cloud computing or who have some certifications in cloud computing. That would be added advantage. But the area of would be like that. So the thing is, what I want to say here is that in product based companies, always you will see that team based hiring takes place. Whoever, let's say that you are getting interviewed, you internally you will be getting interviewed for a team, right? And the members of the team, that particular or respective team, would be only interviewing you, right? Those engineering managers or those directors would be only interviewing you. Okay, so everything is team based, right? Everything is team or organization based in a product based company, right? So let's talk about like what happens in team based hiring. So basically, what point do what I want to say by on a particular stack. So if you have that kind of technology skills, or if you are having the knowledge, but if you don't have that kind of like knowledge, so still you will be considered. But obviously the weightage would be given to more who are kind of apt to that team, right? So there, including those skills in your resume makes a difference, right? We'll talk about these things in brief, but yeah, what I want to say on a high level, I hope it makes sense. So basically what will happen is that a team would be a manager that is superior and a general manager that would be there. So everything will be every decision whosoever coming into that team would be governed by them. Now what happens happens is the first process is that like HR would be posting that job, right? Be it otherwise. So, and then what will happen is that let's say that you receive some 100 applicants for that job opening. Every applicant would, okay. So it depends on the hiring manager who he wants to interview. Okay. Why is that? Because the thing is that that I've worked for, let's say that if a job opening opens up, right, in 1 and 2 days only you will see that thousands and thousands of people is the competition that we are talking about. Okay. Now to reduce this, what is the underlying technology that they are using is that this. Okay. So what happens is that now companies have developed a resume parsers. Okay. So what happens is that let's say that a job opening had certain skills that it demanded. Let's say that the job opening that opened up had that you should be experienced in Java, right? You should have at least 5 years of experience in Java. You should have at least like 2 years of experience in React. You should have at least 2 years of experience in Node.js or React.js, etc., etc. Right? Those will be the conditions that would be fit into the parsers that would be running on your resume, and your resume would be assigned a score or a weight. Average would be calculated, and you can say that the top 100 or top 200 resumes would be pictured or would be kind of screened in for the hiring manager to take a look, right? And the hiring manager would take a look on those selected resumes only. Then you can say that at max 20 or 15 or 30 people would be called for interview, right? Because interview in itself is like a very lengthy and time consuming and a very kind of very long process. Okay. So you don't want to waste, or you don't want to because everything would be taken what I want to say here is why I'm terming it as a lengthy and a long process is because the thing is that people on the team would be only interviewing you, right? Let's say that if my team has an opening, so I would be interviewing you or my team would be interviewing you, right? So what is the basis of this thing is that what we want is that like the person coming in should be compatible with while for working with us, and on the other hand he should possess the skills that we are looking forward, or like let's say that we are facing some problems, he should also possess the skills that are required to solve those problems collectively, right? That is the idea of the interview process, that why team based hiring is done, right? And in the last you can say that a hiring manager would be taking a look. That would be the last process. Now coming to like quickly to what are the interview steps or the processes. So you can typically in FANG or in other types of companies, you can expect at least you can say 5 to 6 rounds. Okay, 5 to 6 rounds. This depends on the level. You can say that this would increase or decrease based on your level. Let's say that if you are going for SD3 or engineering manager level, then it would be like different. But on a general, it would be 5 to 6 only. Okay. So being the first round or the second round. Okay. Now in the online assessment round for SD1s, you can expect that some questions from your computer science fundamentals, being that DBMS operating systems and your C programming, input output questions, object oriented programming. Some questions would be like that. And other than that, you can say that 2 to 3 questions from DSA would be there. Okay, 2 to 3 questions. Typically 2 questions are there, but sometimes you also will see that 3 questions would also there. And the complexity would be hard and medium. Okay, hard to medium questions would be kind of there. Okay. So the idea is that you have to completely solve these questions. Okay. Why? Because competition is tough first. You also see that lots of cheating is also going on in the online assessment, right? So better to complete all the 2 questions or the 3 questions that is there. Okay. And you answer all the questions correctly. That should be the kind of selection criteria. Okay. Now, after you clear the first round, then you can expect at least 3 technical interviews. Okay, 3 technical rounds would be there. So these 3 technical rounds are kind of, this depends. Now this would be kind of at least 2 technical rounds would be for DSA. Okay, Okay, at least 2 would be for data structures and algorithms. Okay, so where you can be kind of be assured that it would be totally on problem solving, testing your problem solving capabilities, your algorithmic like ideas, right? How would you reduce the time complexity? What is the basic criteria? Okay, 45 minutes would be given to you typically for 2 questions. Okay, 45 minutes for 2 questions, and like in the 15 minutes you can expect that for your introduction as well as for your project related stuff, and for other and any other technical questions you can expect. Okay, so that is the idea of these problem solving rounds. Okay, in Google what happens is that 45-minute interview is only there, so 30 minutes are given to you for 2 questions. Basically you have to answer the first question and then some follow-up question if it is asked, or if any other question is asked, you have to answer 2 questions in 30 minutes or 35 or 40 minutes. Generally in Google you don't do much on introduction and other stuff. They just start with the problem. Okay, and in the problem only you have to explain your thoughts and you have to interact with the interviewer. Okay, apart from this 2 rounds of DSA, then somewhere also they take like for SD1 they also take low level design round. Okay, so low level design round is the similar round for like you can say that you will be asked like to explain your object oriented skills. Okay, basically you can say that it would be more on designing basic systems like a shopping cart, like you can say that either a shopping cart, or you can say that are either a parking lot with some constraints, or simple systems, object oriented thinking skills, right? Either you are able to think in a manner that is required in the industry standards or not. Okay, so yeah, in some companies you can also have this like round as the, like you can say that the hardcore programming round. That would be kind of you have to build something, that is also possible, but generally this is the structure. Okay, this is the structure. In Google you don't have for SD1 you don't have low level design round, you only have 3 data structures round and then a googliness round, right? So others, let's not talk about it. But apart from that, the 5th or the 6th round would be like with the discussion with the hiring manager. Okay, so hiring manager would be discussing, or a senior hiring manager would be kind of discussing with you also, or the director, or the like you can say the senior engineering manager would be discussing with you. So basically you will be with the hiring manager also you can expect a problem, or you can also expect some problem solving, or you can expect some challenges in the design. That can also be a possibility. But 95% I have seen that they will only ask your projects. Okay, whatever is written in your resume, they will just go through that. They are looking for your experience. They are looking forward to certain points to see that whether you are a team player or not, whether you will fit into the team or not, whether you fit to the ideology of the company or not, whether you fit in his ideology or his plans for the future or not. He would be having certain plans with the team, right? Where he wants to take the team in the next coming years. So whether you fit into his ideology or not, based on certain situational based questions, he can just judge, or he or she can just judge that whether you are fitting into the ideology of the company, or you can say his ideology or not, right? That is the major thing that you have to look around. So there are some techniques that you can follow. So answering according to the star principles, where you have like you can say that there's a you can say that there is a functionality where you can develop your answers around those principles, how you want to portray your answers. So you can just practice them so that your positive aspects are reflected in your answers, right? So let's say that if you are asking, you are you are asked about a challenging situation, so you should always explain that, yeah, so these challenges, these were the challenges, how did you react to that challenges, how was your approach, how did you stay calm, how well did you react to that situation. That would be mattering, or that he is looking forward to. Basically you want to fit to his ideology. He would be having certain plans with the team, right? Because the engineering manager would be getting rewarded on your work. Whatever work you are kind of doing for him, he will be getting rewarded. So basically it's just a transitive relationship. Okay, so he is looking forward to a growth mindset. Okay, so you can just read about these terms. So yeah, what is a good growth mindset? How are you going? How are you explaining that mindset in every answer? So every answer you should formulate or you should practice. These are very generic questions. Did you have any argument, or did you have any kind of you can say that disagreement with your senior, disagreement with your manager, disagreement with your peer in your project, like that? Okay, so this would be totally a situational or a behavioral round. You can also expect a problem solving as well. Sometimes I have also seen that in hiring manager or in senior hiring manager round, they ask you can say problem solving as well. In senior hiring manager round, you cannot predict, sorry, what would be the round. It is generally called a bar raiser kind of scenario also. In some companies like Amazon has a bar raiser round, so you cannot predict it. Either it will be design round, either it will be kind of data structure round, either it will be kind of a discussion round, either it will be on your project discussions or anything. But majorly we have seen that it is basically around the problem solving only, and for some experienced candidate they also go with the design challenges as well. So problem solving is kind of 60% or 70% asked in the interview. So major skill to look or improve in your you can say that in the interview process is your problem solving, then comes your design. And with experience, that level of design would be kind of going up. Low level design, high level design would be coming up. If you are getting interview call for SD2, then 2 rounds for data structure will be there. But then you will also have 2 rounds for, you can say that design as well. So the first would be like you can say the 5th round would be for a high level design as well. Okay, for SD2, SD2 and above. Okay, SD2 plus. So you will be called, you will be having 2 rounds, that is for low level design and high level design. Now, low level design would be again on the object oriented principles. Then you also have to learn about the design practices, right? Multiple design patterns. How are you going to scale your solution? How well you are going to explain the different scenarios that would be asked. High level design would be more on component level. Okay, so that is you can practice. Then you will also have hiring manager and senior hiring manager rounds as well. Okay, so these are the processes that typically occurs in you can say that in our product based companies. Now coming to resume. Okay, where do you can say resume picks in, you can say sits here. So as a candidate, okay, the only thing that is showing your skills or showing your worth is your resume. Okay, is that one piece of you can say that paper that, or you can say that is kind of shared with the recruiters as well as the hiring manager. So that is your resume. You know, resume is a very important you can say that you can say resume is a very important tool or very important piece of paper, or very important for a software engineer. Why? Because based on this you will be like you can say that you will be able to participate in the interview. Moreover, when in every round your resume would be looked, and you will be asked questions on your resume. So having a good resume really makes a difference. Not going above, not going beyond, just having the required thing that matters. If you are showing that you are an exceptional person, then you will be also asked exceptional questions. Okay, I remember that I wrote certain achievements in my resume, and I was asked very tough questions. Okay, and I was not prepared at that time for those type of questions in competitive programming. Okay, so I just listed certain achievements in competitive programming because I used to do it in my college. But after a certain point of time you don't require that, right? So then that like you can say that this interview came up and I was not able to produce my best, right? So these things happen. So what I have realized from all the mistakes that I have committed is that don't mention too much high, don't mention too much low, just mention the required things that matters, right? Just mention those things. Okay, we will see a sample resume, what a sample resume looks like, what are the different components, what are the different things that you can look into it, and then we will just talk about more. Okay, just give me 1 minute. Just let me just stop sharing my screen and just. Yeah. Now let's talk about the resume that we have to discuss. Okay. So the resume, if we want to talk about it, the first thing that comes into the resume is your name. Okay. Your current location as well. Second thing should be your current location. Why? Because this is important because like when the COVID era started, so everybody was looking for remote jobs, obviously because of the lockdown and stuff. You cannot work from the base location, right? But with the end of this era, now you can see that the old days of hiring have resumed. Now local candidates are again preferred. Okay, I don't want to enter the controversy of in Bangalore and all those things. No, but just for the sake that local candidates would be preferred. Let's say that if the opening is for Pune, so Pune living candidates would be preferred than the other candidates because they don't want to spend. Why is that? Because let's say that if I'm living in Delhi, right, and the company is operating in Pune, okay, so 50% chance is there first in the mind of recruiter. They will also confirm you with multiple times that whether you will be coming to Pune or not, because it will be an additional cost on you, the cost of living and everything, right? The second thing that is mattering to them is that if you want, if you will come to you can say that like Pune or any other location, then the company also has to offer you relocation bonus. Some companies offer and some companies don't offer, but it's like an attractive charm that companies throw at the employees to kind of lure them to the base location, right? Now the thing here that I want to talk about is that with the old days of hiring, now HRs or the hiring managers or the recruiters are preferring local candidates more, and this is very prevalent. I have seen this a lot, right? I was also actively interviewing last like last month, right? And I could definitely say that this is a very bad factor that has come into play again, that local candidates are kind of preferred, right? Even with the big companies, I don't want to name those companies, even with the big FANG or MANG based companies that you listen, those are doing that. So having a neutral location, like if you are working in, let's say, a company in Bangalore, why don't you write Bangalore even if you are working remotely, right? You can also apply to remote jobs in a separate way, but if the company is such that it is very persistent about the location, then mention that location, that you are living in Bangalore only, right? You want to get that opportunity because many people are there that are waiting to get that opportunity. Even these small things matters. Okay. The next thing that would be going is your number. Okay, your email address or your contact. How would the recruiters contact you, or how would the people contact you? That should be the third line. Email address and your LinkedIn ID. You can also include your GitHub, right? You can also include your any coding profile as well. Okay, it's up to you. The second thing that comes in is your education background. That should be the first thing that you have to write. Okay, if you have done some MTech course or if you have done some PG course as well, you can write it. Other than that, you only have to write your graduation. This is optional, 12th and 10th, it does not matter. Okay, some companies would be mattering to see that whether you have taken a gap year or not, it does not matter, but it's like very 1% or 0.5% of companies do that. It's better to skip these 10th and 12th. Only write your graduation and your post graduation if you have done. Okay, then comes your experience. Okay, if you don't have any experience, does not matter. Okay, don't worry about it. You can have internship experiences, you can have volunteering experiences as well, you can have you can say that open source experiences as well. Okay, you just have to, if, and it's optional. Okay, this section is optional for new grads. It's totally optional. In experience, what you have to do is like you have to mention the like company name, you have to mention the title, and then you have to mention also the tech stack that you were working on. Like this candidate has written Golang, C++, machine learning, Python. You have to mention the period of employment, what and the how much duration of employment was there, right? And you also have to mention the you can say project, or the you can say the work that you did in your you can say that in the experience, or whether it be an internship or otherwise. Okay, like if we want to talk about this experience, so this candidate has clearly mentioned that he was working on Rails as database data analysis and SQL, and generated nearly 70-80 reports and dashboards in short span of time. Okay, so you have to mention in a crisp manner about your experience. Basically, you have to mention the problem that was there. How did you solve the problem? What was the impact? And after the problem was solved, what was the you can say that you can say overall thing that happened. Okay, majorly you have to work in this manner. What was the problem? How did you solve it? And what was the impact? Three things. Okay. Third is, this is also optional courses. Whether if you have done some courses, like if you are enrolling into Coding Ninja, or if you are done any other courses on ML or other stuff, you can just write it. Okay, this is just for your certifications. Okay, the other thing that is there is that projects. Now projects are extremely important. Okay, having at least 3 to 4 projects is mandatory in your resume. Projects get asked in the hiring manager round as well as in your technical rounds as well. It is very, very important. Okay, don't underestimate the power of project. The problem solving is important, but having projects is also important, utmost important in your resume. Okay, now this is a very also kind of FAQ by everybody, that how many projects should we include in a resume. I would just completely advise that having 3 to 4 projects is excellent in your resume, not more than that. Okay, if you are an experienced candidate, then your experience would be the work that you have done in the experience, that would matter. But if you are just graduating, then having 3 to 4 projects is good, right? And similar manner, you also have to explain your projects in a very crisp manner. What was the project name? What was the tech stack? What was the duration? And what was the kind of thing that you did? Okay, just like see here. So in the microblogging tweak, developed a microblogging tweak using Ruby and tested on the Rails server for multi-load like testing and other stuff. Generated multiple DB models and migration for features like adding small email verification, followers, and all those things, right? Deployment was done by Heroku server. Okay, so these are kind of, you can say that, giving an explanation in a crisp manner to the reader, that or the interviewer, that what was the impact that you did. Basically, if I am reading this, then I can have an idea that this person is having a good basic knowledge or medium knowledge of backend. Okay, he is good with backend and stuff things. If deployed in the team, he will be able to carry out the task. That is the confidence that it is giving me. Okay, so this is what you have to kind of encapsulate. Okay, this is what you have to kind of like incorporate in your resume. Basically, the problem that you solved, what was the tech stack, how did you solve the problem, and what was the impact, what was the after effects of the project. That is what you want to solve, or what you want to write. Okay, then you can also write your technical skills in the last. Okay, what are the technical skills that you can incorporate, such as like there is some technical skills like C++ and all those things. You can also write your achievements. Okay, you can also write your achievements, such as what was your achievements, what was kind of your you can say that what was basically your achievements, that yeah, in your college or in your school, if you did have some achievements, you can just write it. This resume that I'm showing you is basically good for a SD1 position. Okay, it is not having, you can say, the required things for a SD2 that it should have, or for an experienced candidate that it should have. Okay, now let's quickly look a resume. What does a resume look like for an experienced candidate? Just give me 1 minute. Okay, I have that as well. Okay. Okay. The major important thing, this is a resume for a SD2. The major important thing that I just forgot to mention is that your resume should be of only 1 page, not more than that. And an average time that would be spent on your resume would be how much? It would be only, you can say that 30 seconds or 20 seconds, not more than that. Okay, not more than that. Okay, it would be only like this. Okay, so that is the amount of thing that you have to write. Now let's talk about you can say an experienced resume. Okay, so this is a person that is kind of my colleague. He was my course mate in my college, but he is right now working in OCI, Oracle Cloud Infrastructure. Right now, let's look at his resume. He's also having 5 years of experience. Right. So first comes your name, your contact. Right. Then comes your experience. How should an experience look like? Right. Now you have to write the company name, your position, your duration of employment, and then you have to write at most 3 to 4 points. You will not see more than that. Okay, you will not see more than 5 6 points. Not no, only 3 to 4 or 5 points is enough. Maximum 5 points are enough to briefly explain your experience. Okay, just briefly explaining your experience, that would be kind of there. Okay, so this is the thing, right? And let's talk about what is the experience. So improving leadership experience about customer impact, current project targeting automatically weekly metrics and other things. Okay, working on eliminating an internal authorization and replacing it with company standards on a live highly available compute system, which also removes silent migration. Right, in Amazon, what did he do? Up as a part of data technologies team, designed and developed following system using Java, React, and Gremlin, a monitoring system which communicates to multiple teams in case of failures, delays, breaches. Right. So you can see that this person has worked on different stuff. Basically, the thing is that in whenever you will be going in a product-based company, there would be different areas of a product, like observability, like deployment, DevOps. Okay, how does the product get deployed? How does the product get released? What are the core components? Right there, it's not one kind of thing. Okay, it's not just back end, front end, and all those. No, there are multiple things that you need to take care of, and you will be only working in a section of those. You'll be working on a very concised area, no, not more than, if you are a senior engineer, then you will be taking up multiple responsibilities. But if you are going as a SD1 or a fresher, you will be only working on a very niche area, and then you will be growing into that product as you gain knowledge. Right. So that is the idea. That is the idea that you will be kind of doing. Okay. So basically what I want to say here is that for an experienced candidate, you have to clearly mention your experience. I know it's very hard to concise 5 years into 3 points. It's hard. Obviously, it's very hard. But the thing is that you have to do it, because nobody would be reading your entire 10 pages or 7 pages or 20 pages of resume. No, that's the basic mistake that anybody would kind of do. People don't have time. Engineering managers get irritated by 2 pages or 3 pages. You don't want to irritate them. You want their favor, right? So just play according to the rules. Okay. Just play according to the rules and you will be in a safe zone. Okay. Now, once you have done just kind of your done your about the explaining part about your experience, you can see that this person has worked on a monitoring system, right? This person has also worked on a prediction system. He has worked on a performance system. He has worked on the internal graph DB queries also. Okay. See how he has written what was his impact. Improve the performance of internal graph DB queries, reducing execution time by more than 90%. Right. So this is what you have to mention. 90% is highlighted in a bold manner. This is his impact. Right. This is kind of, you can say that the thing that you have to highlight. Okay. Now comes what? Now comes like the education. This person has written the education in the below. You can also write it. It's totally upon you. Okay, what was his education? What was the criteria? He has written his achievements and awards also. ACM ICPC, Deloitte Innovation Award, Microsoft Student Partner, Darrell Chong Student Award, and other awards as well. Okay, so these are the things that you have to kind of write, or these are the things that you will be including in your resume. Okay, if you are even an experienced candidate or even if you are a fresher candidate as well. We have seen both resumes for the experience as well for a fresher candidates. Okay, now quickly I have gotten some resumes from the team. Just quickly let me just open them, and quickly we will discuss about some resumes as well. Okay, so if I just want to go over the first resume. So this resume is of a person, uh, Gopalji Mishra. Okay. So this is also a kind of a format that people use. This is also a good resume, like kind of thing. Okay. So this is a one pager resume that is very good. Okay. Senior technical lead Java, Spring Boot, Commuda, MongoDB. Okay. So see, the thing is that see how this person has kind of clearly separated like every technology. Why this is done? Because this is done for improving the search, improving the like parsers, improving the score, right? Which you will be assigned to the resume. That is important. Segregating your skills, segregating the technology stack that the people are looking forward to. Okay, so he has 9 years of dedicated product development experience, with 9 years of experience for 9 years of experience with few of the great products and BFSI kind of thing. Okay, so by the experience, I can say that he has worked largely in service-based sector. Okay, that's good also. So senior technical lead, see how a senior person is formulating his resume. Only 3 points, only 1 point, only 1 point can be avoided. 2 points, 3 points should be, some experience should be more descriptive. 2 points we can write it, 2, 3 points at least. Okay, it's good, but yeah. So let's see. Worked on various requirements in previous career, great way sits between. Okay, coordinated among. Okay, okay, makes sense. See, the one you can say that problem that it is there is that he has not written the tech stack in any of the company that he has worked for. Okay, he has only written it in the skills. That is good, but writing different tech stack also works. Okay, let's say that if my company right now is working on C sharp, right, C++, Golang, and I had worked Java on Java for whole of my career, because that is the current reality of me only, because Microsoft works majorly in C++, C sharp, right? So the thing is that it's added advantage. These skills are added advantage to me. I had learned C++, I had learned C sharp. I am working on them. I have used them in my current product, right? Why shouldn't I write it? This is a mistake that could be avoided. So you should always mention the tech stack, current tech stack that you are working on. It's good that you have highlighted everything product based, having few amazing products in BFSI program. Okay, good. You should be making it more descriptive, your experience. What was the product? What was your contribution? How are we getting to know your contribution? Coordinating among, it's very abstract. What will I say here? Okay, so contributions about from you should be highlighted in a very good manner. What was your contribution? Exactly, you should mention it. What was the impact that you did? How did you change the life cycle, right? What revolution did you bring? I'm not talking about revolution, but what was your effect? The code that you wrote or the thing that you did, what was your contribution? Okay, you have just mentioned it in a very abstract manner. This is also good, but see, the thing is that according to me, it should be like this. Okay, senior consultant Capgemini, work for Manulife Corporation to enhance their insurance project. Okay, but what was your contribution? You should write this in a very good manner. Okay, enhancements of the MBB. See here, any of the experience is not written any of the tech stack. That is good, but yeah, okay. Computer science engineering, okay, education is there. Skills, Java, Spring Boot, MongoDB, SQL, Commuda, Hibernate, okay. Interest, an avid article reader and like to watch movies. Okay. Okay, fine. This is also optional, completely optional. Okay, you could have written your some projects, the best projects or the contributions. What I feel, it lags. You can also include your photo as well. Okay, because the thing is that in online interviews nowadays, people want that the candidates that are kind of getting interviewed, they should be the same. So because of cheating and all those things, this is happening. Okay, so these are some of the feedbacks on this resume that, yeah, so you should include it. Your experiences should be more like concise, and some of brief should be given. It should not be too abstract. You should also include technology skills. What we have mentioned in the manner, you have to include it, right? So you will be good to go. Otherwise, your resume is fine. Okay. Uh, Now let's look quickly on another resume that was shared. Okay. Give me 1 minute. Just give me 1 minute. Yeah. Okay. So this is a resume that was shared to me right now. So Sai Yashwant. Okay. So this is fine. I get it that this is kind of the resume in old format where you are having three pages. I would request it to be one page only. Concise it. First advice is that it's good that you are written it. Okay, fine. Email address. You can also include a LinkedIn ID as well, or any of the accounts that you are kind of doing. Professional courses. Okay. Airport terminal. Okay. AppTech. Okay. Okay, company name, associate engineer. So we can deduce that this person has worked majorly in the aerospace domain. Okay, so yeah, objective or aerospace and mechanical design engineering I have aspired. So some people also give a brief, or you can say objective, or let's say that their highlight in the, you can say in the 3-4 lines about the introduction. Okay, this could be your introduction, your pitch, your objective. It could be in anything. This is good. You can also include it if you have the space. Okay. Apart from that, other point that feedback that I want to give, please concise this. Okay. Don't overwrite these things. Please concise it. Okay. In a manner that you can also reflect your contributions, and in a manner that you can highlight your strong points, highlight your, you can say that core areas, highlight your skills that is required, right? So that is the important thing. So I know that your experience would, you can say that it's kind of, it would be difficult for you to concise it, but that's the requirement, unfortunately, right? So you have to concise this to 2 or 3 points. Let's work around that. Okay. Job roles, you have also worked for another company. Okay. So see, 2018, 2022, right? So 4 years, 4 years, and you have to, again, you have to kind of, you can say that concise it to 3-4 points and brief points that should be showing your impact, that should be showing your contributions. Okay. So again, okay, professional courses is fine, education. So professional courses, okay, you can kind of write it below. Okay, I think that education should be written. Okay, industrial visits, it's totally optional. Strengths, I guess in your field it would be required. Strengths, okay, strengths is good. Okay, and other things is also good. Personal profile is kind of not required, to be honest. Okay, it does not matter, personal profile. Okay, but yeah, so strengths you can totally write it, skills you can write it. Okay, and education sector you can just write it, right? So concising your resume to one page and just working on the feedback that I gave. Otherwise, your resume is good. Okay. So this was kind of the thing that we wanted to discuss. Okay. So the other thing is that if I want to say, so based on my experience, upskilling and having a solid roadmap is kind of crucial for a successful career transition. Okay. To save time and to get mentorship, I highly recommend investing in a paid program that helps you build up your profile from scratch. Okay. And as a Coding Ninjas alumni, I can personally attest to the benefits of their program. Okay. Tomorrow we'll be having an Ask Me Anything session where you can ask me anything about Coding Ninjas, how Coding Ninjas helped me, how was my journey, and how can you kind of incorporate that, right? So if you're interested in attending that session, please fill out the form. Anshika, I would be very grateful if you could share the link to the form to everybody. And as this session is time limited, we don't have, like, you can say that we won't be able to kind of cover all aspects of career transitioning. So by filling out the form, you will get a chance to connect with me and learn how paid programs can facilitate a smoother and faster career transition.